I still need to do my pickled beets, and it snowed, and so my poor garden is buried under snow, and so I need to pick my beets. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, even though it's colder than crap, and I'll bring them in the house and we'll make some pickled beets. Oh, they're all frozen. I should be okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's cold. Picking beets in the snow. This is just stupid. Oh my gosh. Really? I can't tell you how wrong this all is. Whew, cold. I had to run in the house and get a pair of gloves. My hands were freezing. The beets are so cold. I'm really hoping they're not frozen at all. Gotta come out here and get the rest of them. I had quite a few. It is not fun pulling beets in the snow. It's just kind of stupid. So, like all of my other canning videos, I'm gonna do a really quick run through, 30 or 60 seconds. I think I mentioned that in one of the other clips. If I didn't, I am mentioning it now. So we'll go ahead and go through that run really quick. So I've got all of my beets picked here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the tops off of them and then take them inside and rinse them off. When you cut off the tops, you don't cut it all the way down at the beet. Here, I'll show you. All right, so see, I left some of the beet top on there. And that's because if you cut into the meat of the beet, when you cook it, it'll bleach out, and so you'll lose all of that beautiful red color out of the beet. So they're all dirty from all being out in the dirt just about 5 seconds ago. So we're going to cut all these tops off and we'll bring them in the house. We're going to rinse them off and then we're going to cook them. Okay, my water is boiling. I have my big canner here because I actually have a lot of beets since I had to go pick all of them out of the snow. And what I'm going to do actually is first I'm going to throw in all my big ones. And most people are just going to have a smaller batch. This is kind of a big batch of beets. I'm going to throw in all my big ones first and let those cook for a while because they're going to take longer. And then I'm going to leave all these little ones out to start because they're going to take a lot less time and they'll get really mushy if I put them in all together. Okay. Beets just have to cook until they're done. I just usually cook them and they take a while. So they're probably going to be in there probably after about half hour, 45 minutes. I'll start stabbing them with a fork. There, that's all my bigger ones. Okay. I'll start stabbing them with a fork, and when I can push my fork all the way through them, then they're done. I don't like my pickled beets to be really soft, and so I like when I push the fork into it, the outer part is soft, but the inside's still a little bit firm. I just like my pickled beets to be a little bit firmer. It's up to you, however you would like to have them. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook these guys up. Beginning of my video, I forgot to do my ingredients. So I was so focused on getting my beets out of the garden. So there's two parts to pickled beets. There's the brine and then there's the spice packet. So the spice packet, I'm actually missing, so here's my whole recipe. I'll go ahead and, oh, my shadow is on it. Here's a whole recipe. It'll actually be on the bottom of this video as well in the description. So you can see that we have red pepper flakes, allspice, coriander, bay leaf, and cinnamon stick. I'm missing my coriander. I have everything else. We got cinnamon sticks, red pepper, allspice, and bay leaves. I have these packets. I actually made them up last year when I was making beets, and I just made a whole big giant bowl of it and then made my little packets in the right amount. It's just easier. I just wrap them up. I just like tied them up. Just, it's kind of silly. But so I don't need my coriander, but it's missing right here. I saw one of them fell out. So they're just a little round. They're kind of hollowish. Coriander comes from cilantro. Coriander is cilantro seeds. So that's kind of interesting. But I'm missing that. So it's these ingredients plus coriander. So then we have our brine. Our brine is going to be sugar. Got my sugar, vinegar, salt, mustard, and ginger. This is my own recipe. I, to be honest with you, really like the store-bought canned pickled beets. I know, I grew up with them, but I still kind of love them. So my recipe kind of mirrors the store-bought beets, but it's made with homemade, homegrown beets. And of course, they're from your own garden. And it does have a little more of a spiced flavor, where the store-bought ones are purely vinegar and sugar. I'm gonna go ahead and put together our brine, but I do have something kind of funny. So where I have to keep my camera to try to get all my stuff in here is actually, here I'll kind of steal you here. It sits in my cabinet here. So yeah, you're watching me from inside of my cabinet. Sit you back up here. Whoa. Oh, now you're too low. See, I messed everything up just to show you. Okay, there, we're good now. All right, so we're gonna be making the brine now. So I'm gonna make a triple batch based on the number of beets I have. So this one makes 6 pints, 12, let's do a double batch, okay. So 2 cups of sugar, so we're gonna do 4 cups of sugar. Sugar is solid, so you use this kind of measuring cup. This is a solid measuring cup. You use this kind for liquids. So we're going to do 4 cups of sugar. 1, 2, I am not exact. 3, sugar is lumpy. 4, and a little extra. Okay, sugar. 4 cups, so we're doing a double batch. I need 8 cups of vinegar, which is liquid. So I'll do 2, 4, 6, 8. Tablespoon of salt. Yes, you should use a measuring spoon. I use my hand. Palm full of salt, that's a tablespoon in my world. So I need 2. I run out. 1, 2. Okay. So then I need a teaspoon of mustard and a teaspoon of ginger. So a teaspoon is a small palmful. 1, 2, same with ginger. 2. Okay. So I've got my sugar, my vinegar, my salt, my mustard, and my ginger. Okay, and we're doing double batch, so I'm dropping in 2 of these packets. And then we're going to turn this on high, and we're going to boil this for 10 minutes. So, all right, these beets have been here. The bigger ones were in there for about 45 minutes, and the smaller ones have been in there for about a half hour. So I'm going to go ahead, and you can see I can just take it, and I can push my fork into it pretty easy. So kind of like a baked potato, not a super soft baked potato, but they should feel like a baked potato basically. So these are all done. I'm going to dump these out in the sink, and then we're going to clean them up. All right, so what we're going to be doing, you take the beets, you cut off the top, And you should be able to slide the skin off. If it doesn't come off neat, you can just kind of scrape it with the knife. These, I think it's because they were so cold outside. Ooh, they're so hot. They were so cold outside, the skin is sticking to them a little bit more. So it might take me a little bit longer to clean these guys up, but it is worth it. Okay, so got them all cleaned up. And I'm just going to take them, I'm going to cut them into the size beet pieces that you like. I like bigger chunks, so I'm cutting them into pieces about this big. It's whatever you like. You can do little skinny slices. You can do whatever you want. So I'm just cutting the top, the bottom. See this one? Kind of like a tomato. The skin just slides off. See, this one split off nice. And this one's a little bigger, so I'm actually going to cut it in half this way. And just slice it up like that. Probably don't cut things the way I do. I'm a dummy. I'm lucky I haven't chopped my hand off already. I'm going to fill these jars. I've got 9 pint jars in a single canner. You can get per batch. You can get 9 pints or 7 quarts. So I'm just going to fill these guys up. Shove them in there. And you're going to want to fill these jars like this. So you're going to want the beets right up to this edge there. So we're just going to fill all these up. How many? And when I wash these jars, I made sure to check the rim and made sure nothing was cracked on them, because then they won't seal. So now I have my brine. What we're going to do, I'm going to get a ladle. I'll be right back. La, 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 I'm still here. Okay, I have my ladle. And the spice packets, I'm going to throw these in the garbage. We don't need them anymore. And we don't want them to end up in a jar. Okay. So put this here. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill these up with brine. Again, right up till under the edge. This guy actually has too much beets in it. They're kind of floating up. Ooh. So just like this. See, this is kind of sticking just a little bit more than I'd like it to actually. But there you go. So we got a jar full. Oh, I actually had wanted to make a couple of spicy jars of pickles. So I have these beautiful peppers out of my garden that I dried the other day, and I'm going to actually shove some of these in a couple of these jars just to spice them up a little. Delicious, and that's a little bit of spice. I got these pretty tightly packed, so I don't know how many jars will fit in there. A couple in there. That'll be good. Yeah, I kind of randomly do stuff sometimes. Woo! I was a little carried away. And so, I know you're supposed to, see there's an air bubble in here. See it? You're supposed to take a knife, and you're supposed to go like this and get the air bubble out. I never do. I should. You're supposed to. It makes sure your jars don't break. It allows more brine in there. That's the official correct way to do it. I don't do it. So do as I say, not as I do. I have all of our jars. So what I do is I take a paper towel and get it wet, and I wipe off all the rims. So you make sure that there's nothing along the rim of any of these jars. Really important, because then you won't get a seal at all. Did I get them all? I think I missed this one. They look good. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna heat the lids. I have 8 smallmouth and 1 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just got a little bit of water in this pan. 1 wide. I don't care which I use. I have a collection of wide mouth and small mouth. I've said this in my other videos. I could care less which one I'm using. It doesn't matter to me. Some people prefer, you know, this jar with this type of canning. I don't care. I use them interchangeably. All right. I'm gonna put this on here. Spin this on. All right. Put all these lids on the jars. Notice I'm only touching the top of the ring. I'm not touching the underside. Brine, and so that's what's going to preserve them. Putting it in the canner is just sealing them up. That's all we're doing in the canner. And you can't eat them right away. You got to wait at least, I think it's 45 days at least, before you can eat them. All right, so I'm going to take these and put them in the canner. It is boiling, so I'm going to put these in. Got 9 in there. All right, so I'm going to show you this. So we have our water is covering our jars, and the boiling slowed down a little bit when I put the jars in there. That's fine. There's a few bubbles coming up. That's good enough. So I'm going to set my timer for 15. Is that what it was? 10 minutes. Start, and I'm going to put a lid on it. I have my lid here because this is the same pot that I cooked my beets in. It's dirty. It's fine. I forgot to wash it. It's not going to hurt my jars. So put it on there. Hi. Yay! We're almost done with beets. I'm very excited because I'll see my cabinet's open where I took you from. That's where you live. You live in my cabinet. You're like an elf. You're the elf on the shelf. All right, almost done. All right, our timer's gonna ring any second, and we're gonna pull our jars out of the canner, and we just wait for them to seal. Shut it off. All right, and then I usually take my towel and I just gently lay it on top. Don't press down hard because you don't want to faux seal these jars. All right, so what we'll do is we'll take a look at them here, and all these jars, see the little, it's kind of raised, the dome is raised a little bit. As they cool, you'll hear them, they'll pop and they'll be inverted. If any of them don't seal and they stay even when they're all cooled, they still pop, just stick them in your fridge. They'll pickle in your fridge. That's totally fine. All right, thank you guys for joining me making pickled beets. I think that's probably going to be one of the last things out of my garden. With the snow, I don't think much more survived out there. So, makes me sad. But that's all right, we'll find other things to make. You heard one. It's sealed. Yay, victory. Bye, guys.